Well, this announcement is somewhat unexpected from Lionel, but man is it well overdue. Lionel is finally doing scale-sized ET44 locomotives, which is something I remember a lot of people asking around 2 years ago, back when they offered the Canadian National Heritage locomotives in the 2022 Volume 2 catalog, where they just put paint schemes on their ES44 tooling. Strap in, there's a lot to talk about. So first order of business, the engines look like retooled ES44s with a new radiator section at the rear and correct exhaust design, but from what I was able to gather with the renderings, there is actually not a lot of reused parts here. Looking closely, it seems like the engine cab, the trucks, pilots possibly, and fuel tank mostly are from the ES44 tooling. The fuel tank might be based off the ES44 tooling they have, but they will likely add the extra tank that is just in front of the rear truck on the back of the fuel tank. Metal frame and walkway will likely be reused, but also be lengthened accordingly since the real ET44 locomotives are around 1.5 feet longer than the ES44s. So Lionel will need to make the frame and walkways longer by about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch to get the proportions right. The rest of the model looks like new tooling. The radiator section and long hood look basically brand new. Lionel has 6 paint schemes on offer for these models, those being BNSF, CSX, Union Pacific, Kansas City Southern, Norfolk Southern, and Canadian National, along with road-specific details for each paint scheme variant, which I will go into detail about right now. Take, for example, the Union Pacific version. It's a pretty standard later revision ET44 AC, with the angled exhaust, PTC antenna array, and no window on the front door. The Kansas City Southern is pretty much the same as the Union Pacific version, but does not have a window on the front door. The BNSF scheme, on the other hand, is a lot different, as it's modeled on the earlier variant with the square-styled exhaust. It also has a window on the front door and has the correct C4 style trucks, which means the side frame details will have the traction control mechanism present. The Norfolk Southern variant has the angled exhaust PTC antenna array, normal GE trucks, window on the front door, and also functional rear ditch lights. The CSX version is a normal styled ET44 with a square exhaust, but has a window on the front door and no PTC antenna arrays on the roof, as well as no ditch lights on the rear. And it is denoted as an ET44AH since the real one has more weight for better traction. The Canadian National variant is the most unique offering in the catalog. It's a pretty normal ET44AC with angled exhaust, no PTC antenna array, as well as functional ditch lights on the front and the rear. But this one has a DPU light above one of the ditch lights, which will make the Canadian National version a lot more fun to operate on the end of a train as a DPU, since my guess that DPU light will be wired into the marker light function and will denote the end of a train when it's set up in a lash-up. Normally, Lionel engines do not display an end of train indication for a DPU engine on the back of a freight train, which should be a dimmed headlight. The CN variant might also have the anti-ice walkways along the sides of the walkways for the long hood, although I can't tell for certain in the render since it's all black in that area, but I will ask during their live stream of the catalog and update on the comments if this is the case. But my guess is they will be present because of the promised road-specific details. Lionel also has other great features for these engines. You get normal Legacy features as per usual, Legacy control, Legacy rail sounds, a full lighting package, fan-driven spoke unit, powerful motors, Bluetooth, etc. But these will feature 4-digit addressing, which is a first for a non-Vision Line product. They will also have a lighted instrument panel in the interior similar to what the diecast DS44s had. They're also advertising a high level of separate metal details, so my hope is they will make the grills and screens as separate metal parts, which could mean the Canadian National variant will have see-through anti-ice walkways on the side. They're also promising correct dynamic brake configurations and modernized crew figures in the cab, which is going to be a new tooling for these models, for the cab figures. Also, they will be featuring something that has not been on an O-scale model yet, walkway lighting and platform lights. Scaled Trains HO scale models of their ET44s feature the walkway lights and platform lights, but now we have this as a feature in O-scale, and I think it'll look great alongside the ground lights. They're also adding functional LCL lights on the sides of the cab for the CSX and NS variants. Lionel is offering 2 powered units and a SuperBass for each road name. each type with a unique road number. The retail price is $800 for the powered model and $700 for the SuperBass, which is somewhat reasonable for fresh tooling and the features that they have presented. Although you could pay $50 less for 12-year-old tooling that isn't always road specific and has less lighting features, aka the ES44 from Lionel. Personally, I am pretty excited for this offering from Lionel. As much as this was overdue for a number of years, I am glad to finally see these come to the O-scale market. I have my eyes set on the BNSF version since I've wanted a properly modeled GE BNSF loco with the special C4 style trucks, and now I have my wish. I will also likely order a second model too, which will be the Canadian National scheme, since it'll be fun to set it at the back of a long freight train with that DPU light on. I think I've covered just about everything about this release, so I will end it here. I'll post any updates in the comment section to keep you up to date on any new info released on these. Thanks for watching, see ya.